Dr. Josh Kornberg of the Next Generation of Leadership is a business advisor, and one of my most favorite columns that he's written for Extol is, "It's not a closed door," I'm peeking back here.
It's just a bad idea.
Or as I say, your idea just sucks.
That's just not going to work.
It's not the nice
it's just
word.
Not going to work.
So, okay, we hear the cliches. I mean, now, especially on social media, everybody has inspiration to spout and share, which I kind of love, and I appreciate that.
I love the love.
I do,
Yeah.
but it's not a closed door. I mean, that just means that there's another one to walk through, but you're saying it's not a closed door. Sometimes it's just your idea is no good.
And you know, it's so funny. No one likes to be told that their kid's ugly, right? No one wants to hear that. However, there are times when we just need to recognize that no matter how hard you push and no matter how badly you want something to happen, it's just not a good idea. Like, there are reasons that it might not be a good idea. Maybe it's not financially feasible, or the research doesn't support whatever thing that you're wanting to happen. But there are times we just need to be real with ourselves and say, you know what, as badly as I want that thing to happen, it's just not going to.
Why do we take that so personally, especially in the workplace?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I really struggle with this, and honestly, this is a concept that I have just recently been dealing with. Gosh, I've come up, my brain, if anyone knows me, my mind just does not turn off. It's always something, and I'm coming up with my next plan or scheme or whatever it may be, and we get so fixated on these ideas, and there's so much ownership in them. And so I have to remind myself, I'm not married to these ideas.
Right.
It's just something that I've come up with. It's just a random thought that I have, and I thought it made some sense, and I thought it would be a great thing. And there are issues and solutions that I have come up with what I thought was the best answer, and I just cannot get traction on them. And so there are times where I still might be convinced that it's a great idea, but then there have been other times I'm like, you know, that one just needs to go away for a little while.
Or for a long
while. Yep, send that one off into the corner.
I work with my husband, and I mean, technically I'm his boss, and he'll say that.
Sure.
Jason Applegate. I mean, but he's so creative in so many ways, and we really complement each other. But he's funny because I think he is one of the best, if not the best person I've ever met who would adopt that. It's not a closed door, it's just a bad idea, because he will throw things out there unabashedly. I mean, he doesn't care if it's an idea. I mean, he'll call me and he'll go, "I had the best idea yet." I mean, he literally says that to me at least once a week, Josh. And then sometimes I'll listen, and then other times I'll go, "That is horrific."
And
he knows, like, he's waiting for that. And then he moves on. Whereas
right.
I'm fixated. What does that say about me? Nobody liked my idea.
Yep.
What if I never come up with a good idea? How can I be a little more Jason Applegate-ish?
Oh gosh, well, I don't know. Should anyone strive for that? No, I'm just kidding. We all love
Right.
Jason. I'll tell you, so in the column, it's not a closed door, it's just a bad idea. I write about 3 different things or techniques that individuals can utilize to be able to assess whether or not this is a good idea or just a closed door, or if we need to go ahead and put it aside. So the first one that I talk about is giving yourself a timeline, giving yourself a very specific set of time to let an idea play out. Because, so I write in the article, for me, I typically give myself 90 days. I give myself 3 months, and if I can't make traction, and if I can't move something forward after 3 months, then chances are, it's not that,
let it go.
I gotta let that baby go. And trust me, there will be many more ideas to come along. But internally, I just think it's a great practice to set a time limit for yourself and say, all right, if I can't make progress in 3 months of actively working on this thing, then I need to be okay with that.
Okay.
So then the second thing I talk about is something that Jason clearly does well, is you need to give yourself a group of trusted advisors for feedback. And you need to do this before you need the feedback. So I've got people in my life who they know I'm going to come up with these off-the-wall ideas, and they have given me permission to take it to them whenever I have an idea that I want to run past them. And I don't give permission to everybody to do this,
Sure,
but it's my group of people who I've selected, and I have given them the ultimate authority, and that's to shoot down every idea, because I don't want to hear it from random strangers, and I don't want to hear it from my boss. I would much rather hear it from a group of people who I have pre-selected and who know that I'm going to be throwing out ideas to them. I think what makes this a little different is this requires some work on the front side to say, I know I'm going to be pushing out some creative ideas, but rather than just simply letting them work through, this is a group of people who you know you're not going to take it personal, because you have made that decision to give them the access to shoot things down or to put the halt on a plan. So the first one, talking about giving yourself a timeline. The second one, it talks about finding your group of people. And then the third thing that I talk about is you just have to be okay to shelf it. And maybe it means that it goes in the garbage can. Yeah. I like to say most of my ideas live on a shelf somewhere. But until we're okay with actually putting our ideas out of our daily mind and out of our daily routine, they're going to get in the way, and that they will continue to prohibit us from thinking about the next best thing, making the next best decision. So at some point, when we have decided, either through our timeline or through a group of people that we trust, we have to be okay to shelf the idea and to let it rest for a little while. Maybe it needs to cook a little bit longer, or maybe it's just going to go live in a garbage can. But either way, we need to set it out of our main line of sight. I
have to say, Jason, I know I'm not the only person that he runs things by, but the other day he came up with an idea. We have a new client who has a wife who they really want to be involved in the business in a way, I mean, she never has. And his idea was brilliant. It involves community engagement and some philanthropy.
Sure.
And we're both so excited. We've refined it a little bit, but to pitch that to the client.
And those are the moments that you just feel so good. And when you're able to share and co-create and co-collaborate around these ideas, those are the really magical moments.
It was special. I like the garbage can idea, though. It's kind of like with clothing. I'm at that point in my closet, during lockdown, I'm one of those who purged, and then now all of a sudden it's out of control again.
That's right. You can only look at things for so long.
Instead of the garbage can, time to shift it on to Goodwill or another.
Shelf it for a little bit. That's right. That's right.
But I will say this. I've said it before in other capacities. I'm pre-diabetic. It's one of the reasons that I stopped drinking. I went vegan for a while. And I have had it in my head to get my group exercise instructor certification, mostly so I can offer classes to some of our lower income, different nonprofits. And I mean, the New Albany Housing Authority has my heart with their family self-sufficiency program. And darn it, Josh, you just made me, I'm setting that darn deadline. I've got the books, I've got the certification.
That's right.
And I am going to give myself, if I have not made traction, because I have to set that test.
That's right.
3 months, then I'm going to shelve it. And no, I'm not. So I'm going to set that deadline.
That's right. And by giving yourself that deadline, what it says is, I'm either going to do it
or I'm done. Because it weighs on me. It weighs on me so much.
It's clearly something that you're passionate about, something that's at the forefront of your mind. But what else could you do with your mental capacity if you weren't thinking about that?
And also, I mean, either do it or let it go for a while.
You can shelf that one too.
But I don't want to.
That's right.
I don't want to.
But you could if you needed to, and that's not a failure either.
Giving yourself permission.
Yep.
All right. Well, I love talking to the next generation of leadership with you,
I
Josh.
appreciate the opportunity to come and share just a little bit.
And we will see you next time for sure.
Very good. Thank you.